The IKEA Effect is a cognitive bias in which consumers place a disproportionately high value on products which they partially created. The name derives from the name of Swedish manufacturer and furniture retailer IKEA, which sells many furniture products that require assembly. It's Ryan from the Melbourne Centre of Healing here, and I heard this on a podcast yesterday and I thought it was absolutely fascinating. It really got me thinking that on the first front, how bloody smart are those Swedes? This is like the greatest marketing ploy of all time. No wonder IKEA are so goddamn popular and their stores are so big. Number one, they get to outsource the labour of their assembling their furniture to the actual consumer themselves. And on the second front, the result of this labour is that the person, the consumer, loves the bit of furniture more than they would otherwise. And this means that they're more likely to go back there and shop. Really cool, right? But it got me thinking about where the IKEA effect might show up in our life, not to do with furniture or IKEA, but to do with our life. And this means that, is there areas of our life, is there certain questions that I can ask to question these parts of my life and say, hey, is this particular area, is it serving me the way I want right now? Or do I simply keep doing it or believing in it simply because I've put my time and effort into it in the past? I think it's important to ask these questions. So I thought of a couple of examples in areas of our life. That's in health, in spirituality, in work, and also in relationships. So let's ask these questions one at a time. Let's start off with health. Is the way I'm eating right now, is my diet and my exercise regime, is it serving me the way that I want to? Am I having enough energy throughout the day? Is my digestion good? Am I looking the way that I want to look? Or maybe did I change my diet a while ago and it was a radical change? And it takes a lot of effort, right? To change your diet radically and stick to it, it's a lot of effort. And you post some photos on Instagram and all of a sudden you've put this time and effort into this change, but is it actually serving me? Or just because I've put this effort into the change, is that why I'm still doing it? Or am I maybe eating based on an ideology and not how my body feels? Let's talk about spirituality. If I have a faith, is that faith, that thing that I believe in, that thing that I'm following, is that serving me exactly how I want it to in my life at the minute? Or just because I've followed that faith my entire life and maybe my parents used to take me when I was a kid, is that maybe causing me all that time and effort that I've spent? Is that causing me to block out the negatives or the holes in the system that I'm experiencing right now? And is that the reason that I continue to believe in this and not create my own version of spirituality? Is it because I've spent so much time and effort in following it? Let's talk about work. Am I in a job that doesn't satisfy me? Am I in a job that I'm not passionate and inspired about? And I keep saying, nah, it's all right, I've got some holidays owing, so I'll take some holidays and I'll see how I go after that. Or maybe, oh yeah, I don't really like work, but I've got long service leave coming up in 18 months, so I'm going to see what happens then. Am I purely in this job, which I spend 40, 50, 60 hours a week at, purely because I've invested this time into it in the past and I've been working my way up in the company, which is progress, yet I'm still not happy? Now let's talk about relationships, the most important one, right? Both social relationships and romantic relationships. Is these relationships, are they serving me right now? Are they feeding my soul? Are they adding to my life? Are they encouraging my growth? Or am I simply staying in these relationships purely because I've invested years into it? I say this is the most important because it's the one that I see the most. And I can see how frustrated people are and how they can't come up with more than 2 or 3 positive things about a relationship, yet they've got a whole list of negatives, but they'll say, hey, I can't just leave because I've put all this time into it. I'm not saying it's right to do either way, but I'm saying this is a very important question to ask. Because if something isn't helping me grow right now, if it isn't feeding my soul, if it isn't adding to the beauty and the vastness of my life, then just because I've invested time in it, do I need to keep doing that? Or is the IKEA effect, meaning that I'm doing and believing in things that aren't fully serving me? Who knows what the answers are to these questions, but they're very, very important questions to ask, because I think this effect can show up in many, many areas. And I don't know, this is just my personal opinion. I think life's too short to let the IKEA effect run our life, because what's happened in the past is exactly that. It's in the past. I could be completely fucking wrong. I have been before, and I am a lot of the time, but that's just my personal opinion. So guys, thank you so much for watching again today. That's all from me. Peace out. Have a beautiful day.